Sandhan. All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.
Good morning, students. I welcome you in this special series of BISEC. Today we are going to discuss source story. Not source story, but source story as a form. Now, when we discuss any literary form, we should not forget to discuss its origin, its history, its past, how it started. Otherwise, the discussion will be incomplete. So let us start with the origin of the source story. Now, the source story is a comparatively recent development of English literature. If we discuss two main forms, that is poetry and prose. In poetry, we have different forms like epic, sonnet, lyric. In prose, we have novel, essay, short story, and other forms. If we think about the short story, we can say it is the recent development in English literature. Now, you should not forget that we are discussing the short story in English literature. We are not discussing Gujarati or Hindi or any Indian short story. We are discussing English short story written in English. So let us go and discuss its origin. Let us start with Chaucer. You know Chaucer's work, Canterbury Tales. There we find number of stories, but most of them are written in verse. But they are the stories. But some stories are written in prose also. But the quality of the prose that we found in the Canterbury Tales is, we can say, not up to the mark, or we can use the word poor also, because the quality which we found, or the prose style, or the prose which we found in the short story, in the modern short story, is not found in Chaucer's works. Now, some prose romances were translated from Italian language in the 16th century. As you know, there are number of literary forms which started with the translation from other works, from other languages. And generally we find the base of number of English literary forms in Greek, Latin, Italian, or French literature. In the same way, we found some translations of the English short story from the Italian language, and it was in the 16th century. But we cannot say that this is the ancestral work of the modern short story. Let us come to the 18th century, where we found Steele and Addison. They have written some works in prose for the teaching modules. But again, we cannot say these are the short stories. But if we go to Scott, Wandering Will's Tales, which was written in 1824, can be considered as the base of the modern short story. First approach I have used the word first approach towards the modern short story. And then came the American writers, Hawthorne and Edgar Allan Poe. If we see, we can find that their short stories are very near, very close, or we can say the base of the modern short stories. Now, before we start to discuss, before we start to discuss the characteristics of or the short story as a modern short story as a form, let us define the short story. Now, the definition which is there on your screen is short story is a story which is short. Now, let us discuss these two words, short and story. Short, which is not long, and story. You know the word story because we are listening the stories from the very childhood. We liked the storytelling when we were child. You also enjoyed to listen stories when you started, before you started to go to school. And in your school education, in your college education, you have learned number of stories. But if we have to define any work, if we have to define any literary form, then we have to give the exact words for the literary form. Now, let us try to see. Stories are there, short stories are there, but short. But how much? We know that we know some stories which are of only 4 or 5 lines or one paragraph. One story you know very well. There was a crow or a thirsty crow, which is also a story. It runs only for 7 to 10 lines. This is also a short story. So, a short story can be of a one paragraph. So, this is a short story. Now, what can be the maximum length of the short story? If we see the longest short story by D.H. Lawrence Saint Maur, it runs for 100 pages. So, the story from one paragraph to 100 pages. So, the length is it varies the length. So, we can say it can be of one paragraph, it can be of one page, and it can be of 100 pages also. But now the issue is that if it runs for 100 pages, it can be a novel, because there we find number of novels of 70, 80 or 100 pages. So, we have not a very clear dividing line. We don't find a clear dividing line between a short story and the novel, or we can say short novel. So, there is no clear dividing line between I can say a long short story and a short novel. So now critics find out the solution for that. And for a long short story or a short novel, a new word, a new literary form is invented, that is a novella. Novella, which is not a novel, but it is like a novel. We cannot consider it as a novel. So there we have now three forms: short story, novella, and a novel. So now it is very clear in your mind about these three forms. But for the critics also, it is not possible to make a dividing line between these three: short story, novella, and a novel. So the confusion is there. But when we read a short story, we can say it's a short story. Now on your screen, you must note down some prominent short story writers. As a student of English literature, you must remember some names of the poets, some names of the tragedy writers, some names of the comedy writers, names of the writers who have written epics. And the same way, you should remember the writers who have written short stories also. A plot, why he is writing a story, he has to develop a theme. Now the theme is the essence, central thing. Now we can describe the theme in a one line or two. Suppose I ask you, what is the theme of the Ramayana, or what is the theme of the Mahabharata, or what is the theme of any story? You are reading some stories, and after reading the story, you will find the message or the central idea. In Gujarati, if I explain, Satyano Vijay Thai Che. At last, this sentence is written. If we go to Ramayana, if we go to Mahabharata, this epics also, if I ask you what is the theme of Ramayana, you can say, truth always wins. The same thing about the Mahabharata also. So theme can be described very shortly, very briefly, but it is the essence. Without that, the plot or the story or the short story is not possible. Or I can say, not any literary work is possible. Theme is there, because the writer starts with any motif in his mind, and that is called the theme. Now the writer develops this theme through his story and the plot. Now let us go. The story of the short story is generally short, simple, and straightforward. Because it is short story, the writer has no time to create complications. Because if he create complications, solution he has to give. So he cannot create big complications. That can be done in a novel. He can create big complications. The story can be very complicated, and we will find no solution is possible. But he cannot go like this in a short story. Now when I discuss the short story as a form, again and again I will discuss the novel also, because they are very close literary forms. Suppose if I am discussing a one act play, I must start with the full length play. If I am discussing a lyric, I can discuss sonnet also. But here I have no ground, I have no need to discuss lyric and sonnet. But I must discuss the novel. Now let us go. The story of the now, as Hudson has said, the plot should move freely and naturally, and it should be credible. Hudson says, the plot should move freely and naturally. It should flow like a river. The writer should write the story or the plot so freely and naturally that it looks natural. Otherwise, we would not believe it that this is possible. It should be natural, and we should find that this is possible in our day-to-day life, because ultimately the readers are to read the story and they should feel that this is possible. Otherwise, they would not like it. So, Hudson's definition about the plot is that the plot should move freely and naturally, and it should be credible. Now, the last thing about the plot. Some writers manipulate the plot so as to bring about a surprising twist at the end. There are some writers who create twists, who create suspense in their short stories. You might be knowing, you must have read some short stories where suspense is there, where we find the solution in the last line, as we find some in some novels or in some films also, the twists come at the end. So these are the things about the plot. Now we go to the next thing, and that is character. Now you must be writing the things which come on your screen, because you have to attempt the question in your answer in your examination. You might be asked, describe the characteristics of short story or short story as a form. So there you will use this material. So again and again I put the slide on the screen so you can note down something, and I am explaining this only. So let us go to the slide. Characterization is the foundation of the short story. Okay, so characters are very important. There are two things in a story. Once again I repeat, characters and a story. Plot is there, but characters are there. So the writer has to create some characters. Without character, I can say no short story is possible. It will become an essay. Now, you may ask me, sir, what about the characters of only animals or birds? Because you come across number of short stories where you found only birds as the character, only animals as the character. There is only one character, that is crow. No other character is there. So this you know. Otherwise there are number of other characters, rabbit and a lion only. But they are talking. They are given the human quality. They speak something. Otherwise no story is possible. So human quality is given to them. So characters are there. The incident should mold the characters and give them enough space to develop. Now characters should develop. The sudden characters will come and it will go away from the story, not possible. The character should come, the writer has to describe it. Otherwise, the readers would not like it. We will be in doubt. Who is that? Who is he or who is she? So writer has to make each and every clarification. But he has no time. He has to use very limited words for the short story. And he has to remember that he is not going to write a novel. He is going to write a short story. So he has to write everything in short, but not so short that complexity is created. When the character comes, within few words, within few lines, within few strokes, he should make, or the writer should make, the characters very clear before us, before the readers, so we can follow the story very freely. Next thing, plot and characters are interdependent. Plot is there, characters are there, but they are not dependent, they are interdependent. They support each other. As I just discussed, that there are two important things, plot and character. So the character has to work in such a way that plot becomes clear, and plot should be there in such a way that characters become clear. So after completing the reading of the story, we should know two things very clearly, that are the characters in the story and the plot of the story. So they are dependent on each other. They support each other. Plot is not possible without character, and characters are not possible without plot. So that is called interdependent. Second thing, the inner mind of the characters can be brought out through the speech, actions and descriptions. Now the writer describes the characters. Now we know that we have two types of personality, outer and inner. You see me and you can see my personality as a character when you are watching this program. But my inner personality will come to you through my speech, through my words, through the sentences, through the content which I use for this lecture. The same thing happens in short story also. The writer describes the outer personality and the inner personality of the characters. And we know the characters' inner personality also. If we talk about the modern short stories, we don't find the description of the outer personality, but generally we found the character's inner personality, because the issues are related to the inner mind, thinking, emotions of the character. So that the writer has to describe the inner things, inner personality of the character. Next is, character should be original. It should be lifelike. We should not doubt about the character. The writer should describe, the writer should use such characters that the readers can think, yes, this character can be in the society. So they should be from our society or day-to-day life or around us. Very imaginative characters will create some problems for the writer. But we find very imaginative characters also, which we don't find around us. But generally, as I discuss the characteristics or short story as a form, I can say that Characters should be lifelike. Last one. They should be relevant to the setting and idea behind the story. The character should be relevant to the setting and idea behind the story. As I said, idea behind the story is theme. Because ultimately the writer is writing the story to describe the theme of the story. And for the development of the theme, he will put the plot and the story and the characters. So the characters should be described in such a way that the theme should become clear to us. Because the writer has the motive, the intention, the goal, that I can say the theme, to write a short story, without which there is no use to write any short story. So the characters should be described or put before us in such a way that they should support the theme, and as we discussed in the plot, they should support the plot also. So we discussed the plot and the characters. Now let us go to discuss the third thing, that is setting. The third characteristic, the third thing that is very important for making any short story is setting. Setting adds reality and vividness to the story. Now what is setting? I can use the word location for that, where the story is located. Suppose a story can happen in the jungle, or it can happen in one house, or it can happen in one village, or it can be about any school or any institute or somewhere. So this is setting, where the characters are set, where the action takes place, or I can say the location is there. So the setting is very important. So after plot, the writer has the story in his mind, he creates character in the mind, and then he thinks about the plot, he writes it with the help of the setting. And again, like the characters, it makes the story lifelike. You cannot say it is happening on the moon. No, it is happening on the earth somewhere. It should be lifelike. It should not be very imaginative. It should not be so fanciful. That is possible in poetry. But when we talk about short story, generally the incidents are selected in such a way that we think they are happening around us. Third thing, it has significant impact on the character and plot, and ultimately on the readers. Now, let us go back. What do you think? First, there is story. It is developed into plot. There are characters. And all these things are located somewhere. Characters and plot, and ultimately on the reader. Impact on the reader. Why the writer is writing? Because he has to make some impact on the reader, on the mind of the reader. He has to create an impression. He has to give something. Let me remind you the two functions of literature you might be knowing. two main functions of any literary work: to teach and to please. One is to teach. The writer wants to give us any message. He has something to give us. And second thing is please. He wants to entertain us. We get these two things from literature. And for that we read short story or novel or drama, or let me tell you that we go to watch a film. Our purpose is not passing time only, no doubt. Sometimes we go to watch a film only for passing time. Sometimes we read something for passing time. But not possible when we read any literary work. We read it or we go to watch a film. Two things are there. That is, we want to learn something and we want to get entertainment. It gives, let us go back. It gives idea about the location, time and society amidst which the characters move and the incidents take place. Let me repeat it. It gives idea about the location. I use the word location. When we read the story, the characters come in our mind. The story we remember. The story comes in our mind. And the description is that the location is created in our mind. And time also. If the story is about tomorrow, or the story about 1 year back, or 100 years back, or 1000 years back, the location also we get, the characters we get, and through them we get the whole plot. So setting is there. So in setting we find location, time, everything. And the society also. We come to know about the society where the story take place. Whether it is Gujarat, or whether it is North India, or Punjab, or South India, or America, or Sri Lanka, or Africa. We get the location. Characters, location, plot and setting we come across. Let us go to the last thing, and that is philosophy of life. Every writer has something to say when he sits down to write. Without this, the writer will not take the pen. Let me use the word motive. Motive is there. Why he writes any short story? Because he want to give us something. And the very difficult word is philosophy of life. He want to give any message. He want to teach us something about the life. Now let me give you the three important themes of any literary work, that is life, love and death. Three important themes are there. That is life, love and death. This can be the base of any literary form. And ultimately all these three can be put in one word, that is life. Human life and the natural life. Life of the nature. Second thing. This is his point of view or philosophy of life. He presents life as he visualizes it. The writer puts the story before us as he visualizes it. This is his visualization. This is his eyes that see the characters in that location. If you write the same theme the same location and the same plot, the change will be in the visualization, the philosophy of life. Now, sometimes we are listening one word, twist in the kahani mein twist. We are changing the stories. You might be doing the same thing. There was a crow with a braid, but now we are changing the end of the story. This is our visualization of that character, and this was the visualization of the writer who wrote the story. But now the motives are changing, philosophy is changing, so we change the story. Next thing, he interprets life according to his ability. He writes the story according to his ability. I have used the word ability, because if you write a story, you will write according to your capacity. But if any writer who is very aged, who had long experience of life, he will write the story according to his ability. So the thing is that the philosophy of life will come in the story. It will be found if we read the story. If we read the literature, if we read the story, we visualize it, we feel it, the motive, the philosophy of that literary work. Next thing, the moral may not always be direct, but it always exists between lines. It is literature, so the writer has to not to write, this is my motive. He don't write, this is my theme. And the word which I have used, between lines, or we can say between words. His message or philosophy, we have to find out. When we read any story, we will get the message. We will get the philosophy of the writer. And that is not direct. That is indirect, hidden. And I have used the word between lines. That we have to read. And sometimes we don't understand some short stories because we don't understand the hidden meaning. We cannot read the meaning between lines. What is we call the theme or the philosophy of life. It is woven into the fabric of the society, of the story, and it cannot be easily identified. So story is very small, but after listening a story or after teaching you a story, the teacher will ask you, what did you understand? If I read a story, if I don't explain, then I can ask you, what did you understand by this story? So you will say this thing, yes, I understood this thing. Another student will say, sir, I understood this thing. Or maybe all of you may have different answer, because you interpret story according to your philosophy of life or your capacity to understand a literary work. It is the total meaning of the story, implied, not stated. It is not stated. It is not said directly, but we find the indirect presentation of the theme. Now, what is the story in total? In total, what we can say very briefly, because we are discussing short story as a form. So let us read. The short story is an artistic sum, or the total plot, character, setting, theme, and author's interpretation of life. So short story is the sum of all these things. The total of the plot, character, setting, theme, and the philosophy of life or interpretation of life. It's a total sum. When it comes all together, all these things come together, they make a story. So this is short story as a form, and ultimately we can say it is a unique reflection of the flash of lighting. It illuminates the dark interior of the human mind, and we find the reflection of our human mind, interior of human mind is reflected through short stories. Now we have very shortage of time, so let me give you some important, some prominent short story writers, their names and their prominent short stories. I go very fast because time is running. Oscar Wilde, The Happy Prince, The Gift of Magi, and After 20 Years by O. Henry, The Ant and the Grasshopper by Somerset Maugham, The Gentleman's Gift and The Astrologer's Day by R.K. Narayan. I have mentioned Indian writer also. And The Trunk of Ganesha by Jayant Mahapatra, and The Apple, H.G. Wells. So these are some of the well-known short stories of the world. I think I have made the idea about the form of short story very clear for you. I hope you understand. You understood the topic very clearly. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. See you.
Sandhan. All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.